Please don't let these people on the internet get you twisted. The woman who is in her soft girl era, who is safe in her softness, who is embracing her femininity, she is not weak. She is not an aesthetic. She is not passive. That woman is safe to be soft. That woman is in her femininity because of what's inside of her. And so many people, they get that part confused. They think it's about luxury. It's about flashiness. It's about certain things that have nothing to do with the internal. The soft girl feels safe to be soft because of who she is on the inside, because of the inner work she's put in. And that woman, I'm going to tell you right now, she isn't passive. She may have been passive and healed through it, but she's not passive now. And so in this video, I want to talk about what it looks like to be safe in your softness without becoming passive. And I'll start it off with a short story of my family member. I'll call her my family member. Now, this person, I was always drawn to her. She was so magnetic. She just gave the Proverbs 31 woman. Like, she just boss babe, kind-hearted, super soft, mothering, just very nurturing, an awesome human being. But the one thing I never really saw from her when I was around her was her standing up for herself, or her like getting angry, her basically being strong in my eyes. Because in my eyes growing up, I always thought anger, expressing your anger, was strength. I didn't realize being angry and doing certain things, reacting to certain things, wasn't really a sign of strength. It was a sign of weakness and lack of self-control, really, right? And so I hadn't seen these certain things come out from her. And so I didn't think she was weak per se, but in my brain, because I thought that strength was a certain way, it's like I thought she was weak, right? And one day she was telling a story about how she defended, I'm not going to explain everything, but she defended something and someone. And I was just sitting there like, because I couldn't believe, I was like, you did what? And it wasn't that she was reactive. She knew her boundaries. She knew her worth. She knew what she wanted. And she was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that it would always be ingrained in my head. Like, the way she reacted was just like so amazing. She did not give her power away. She was in control of the situation. She was not being reactive. She was patient with it because of who she was on the inside, who she is still to this day. And it makes sense because who she's married to, he sets boundaries. He's very confident in himself. So it all aligns with them together as a couple. And I mention this because sometimes, we see different things on the internet. We experience different things in our lives. And we think that, like how I thought, that her being kind-hearted and these different things, that she was being actually like passive or a people pleaser, because that's what I was being. I was being fake and phony, acting like I was so nice, but it was because I wanted people to like me. She was soft, safe, and nurturing and all these things because that's who she is. And she wasn't putting on a show. She wasn't putting on a mask. That was her to her core. And that was just a beautiful thing for me. There's another example of this would be, there's a character, if you guys read the series called the Skyland series from Kennedy Ryan, the book is called This Could Be Us. And Soledad, one of the friends in the book series, she does get her own book, This Could Be Us. And she's a good example to me of the woman who isn't really stepping into her femininity. She kind of reminds me of the person who was like me, wanting to be the people pleaser, just doing it all and whatever you want, whatever, all those things. And finally being able to step into her softness. When she became more soft, comfortable in her femininity and embracing the masculine side for business and whatnot, she was fierce. That was a fierce mama. That was a fierce woman. And I bring these up. I love characters in books, and I can go on and on about multiple books that have examples of this. But I want you to get that being in your soft girl era, being soft is not about weakness. It is not passivity. It is active. Now what I feel like I should give you is some qualities of the soft girl, of the woman in her divine feminine. She understands her worth. She is poised. She is confident. She honors herself. She honors her boundaries. She honors her emotions. She honors her feelings. She values her peace, and she will not let anybody in her circle, tolerate anybody in her circle who tries to step on or trample or destroy that. Period. She makes time for herself to pour into herself. Nourishment, exercise, journaling, doing things she loves. She's after the lifestyle and the vibe that she craves, not the one that the internet society told her she has to have. She does what she wants to do. I mentioned this in a couple of videos ago. Like, if you do cosplay, if you're like me into Legos, if you like to journal, she does what she wants to do. She knows what she wants and is sure of herself. And if she doesn't know right now, she's figuring it out. She's learning to love herself so she can figure out what she loves and likes to do. And she's leaning into that. Her strength comes from all these things I mentioned, and the list can go on, but I just want to give you some like top qualities of this individual. Now, a lot of people, they think that this soft girl is the woman running around frolicking in some flower field in one of those like maiden dresses, cotton dresses, linen dresses, and she has like flowers in her hair, and maybe she has like long hair, and she just kind of like, yes, today's the day, sunshine and rainbows. But the thing is, that is one aesthetic, and that is probably a person who's like that, but that's not every person. There can be goth girlies who are like that, alternative alt girls that are like that, corporate baddies. There could be women who are in ranches and in fields who work in blue collar jobs that are still in their soft girl era. And that's what I want you to understand, because you're not excluded from being the soft girl just because you don't fit the aesthetic of online. And that's one thing like I said, I'm tired of seeing videos like that. I don't know if it was an algorithm or whatever, but I've seen it too many times in the last 2 to 3 or 4 years. And it's annoying to me. It might be annoying to you. You can step into your softness at whatever point you like. It takes active participation. You have to actively do it. And that's the problem with online, is everybody's always telling us, oh, it's so easy. It's so easy. And yes, things become easy, but it takes discipline. There are going to be sacrifices. There are things you have to do to pursue who and what you want to be. Now, looking at these qualities that I just mentioned, did this woman sound like she was passive? Did she sound like she lets people walk all over her? Does she sound like she's unsure of herself? No, no, and no. You are safe to be soft. Softness is not luxury. Let me rephrase that. Softness does not have to be luxury. It can be luxurious. But people make it seem like you have to have this certain aesthetic to be that, and that is not true. If you become soft, if you have to use luxury to become soft at the expense of your sanity, your budget, where basically you're in survival mode again because you don't have the funds to live your normal life because you're too busy trying to fake being a certain aesthetic, a certain type of influencer to be something you are not, then I don't feel like that's softness anymore. I feel like that's being fake and phony. There are going to be times, when maybe you have to act your way into that thinking. Sometimes you do have to do that, where you have to play the part of the person who is living in her soft girl era, who is in her femininity, even though right now you're not. It's kind of like you're borrowing traits and values and actions from your future self, the woman you want to be. You are borrowing those actions now so that you can become that person, walk like her, talk like her, be like her, react or not react the way she does. Being in your softness does not mean you don't get angry. Because I've seen mama bears, I've seen women who are very much in their femininity, and they will stand up for their child like no other. Defend like no other. Do things where you're just like, how does she even do that? Because she loves the person, she got an adrenaline rush. Don't think softness is weak. Softness is fierce, courageous, brave, abundant. There's just a list of things. To be able to be soft requires you to, like I said, be safe in it. And that safeness sometimes requires inner work, because a lot of us have experienced traumas and things like we talked about in the last video, triggers and traumas. We've experienced things that have set us back a little bit, that make us a little bit more reactive, that make us feel maybe inadequate. But if you could step into your adequacies, not your inadequacies, step into your abundance, step into your beauty, step into who you are or who you have dimmed. Because sometimes, a lot of times, we're already the person, we just have let society pound us down so much that we have none of that left. Because I promise you, if you start putting in the work to be this person that's safe to be in her softness, that embraces her femininity, nobody's going to walk over you. And if they do, they'll regret it. Let go of being performative. I know that's a thing that everybody wants to talk about right now, is being performative. Let go of being performative and just be who you are. I am someone who reads. And I saw a post that came up on YouTube on an algorithm, a short, I think it was. And it was saying something about reading in public is being performative. And I'm like, I read in public all the time. I read in public because I like to read. I do not care what anybody around me thinks. I've had people stare at me. I've had people come sit next to me and ask me what I was reading. I've had people just kind of look and say, oh, I read that book. And most people go about their day. But if I listened to the internet, I would be performative. But no, I'm in my soft girl era. I sit down on benches and read because I feel like it. I feel like reading, I'm going to read. Whether it's in my ear, it's a physical book, or it's an e-reader. You do you, boo. You do whatever feels aligned with you, and do it with your whole heart and not caring what people think. And it's very hard when you're introverted to be like this, but start practicing with little things over time. Being open to received is being safe in your softness. Being open to allow people to buy things for you or drive you places or be there for you is being safe in your softness. That is not being passive. So to answer this question, if you haven't been really paying attention, or if you need it kind of tied up with a bow at the end, how do we remain soft without being passive? It's becoming the person that is soft. It's becoming the person that is safe in her femininity. It is becoming the person who is confident, who does the inner work, who has a desire to heal, to embrace herself, to set boundaries, to be all that she wants to be. When you become that person, you're not going to be passive in that way. And like I mentioned before, if you are passive, if you do allow people to walk over you, you will notice it in the moment or afterwards, and you will make the proper changes so that you don't have to do it again. Even if you have to do it multiple times, that's okay. Sometimes our bodies are like that. They go back to what feels safe, what feels normal, what we're used to. And if you're in my age range, if you've been doing things for like 30 years, 20 years, certain habits, it's going to take some time to break. That woman is something amazing. And I believe that you watching this, you can be that amazing woman. You could be safe in your softness. You can have the will, the drive, the heart to become that person. It's safe to do it. And I promise you, when you get on this side, there's no going back. You're not going to want to go back. I'll end with this. Do not let other people take control of your destiny. The media, your mother, your significant other, the people around you in your circle. You take the reins. You become that woman who's safe in her softness, who embraces her femininity. And if you're a man watching this, allow your woman to have that space and that in the environment that she feels protected, she feels safe enough to be able to lean more into her femininity and to her softness. It will benefit both of you. I'll see you guys in the next video. With all my love, Lana.